So I think we should start now.
Good
Yes,
evening,
sir.
sir.
Good evening. Is the PPT is visible?
Yes, sir. Visible.
Yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Hmm. So today first we'll discuss derivative of inverse trigonometrical functions, and then we'll do some questions on successive differentiation. So let us revise some formulas. So here we have, if fx is sine inverse x, or you can say arc sin s, then its differential, that is d by dx of sine inverse x, that is given as f dash s. So if fx is sine inverse x, then differential of f dash x or fxx, that will be f dash x, that will be equal to 1 by under root 1 minus x square. So you have to remember all these formulas for inverse trigonometrical functions. Second, we have, if fx is cos inverse x, then differential of cos inverse x will be minus 1 upon under root 1 minus x square. So in case of sine, it is 1 upon under root 1 minus x square, and in case of cos, it is minus 1 upon under root 1 minus x square. Similarly, there is slight difference between tan x and cot x. So if fx is tan inverse x, then its differential is given by 1 upon 1 plus x square, and if fx is cot inverse x, its differential is given by minus 1 upon 1 plus x square. Now the same symmetry is there for sec x and cosec x. If fx is sec inverse x, then its differential is 1 upon x under root x square minus 1, and if fx is cos inverse x, then cosec inverse x, then it is f dash x is minus 1 upon x under root x square minus 1. So we have to remember all these formulas. So now here we have some examples. For example, we have taken one question, that is, find the derivative of y is equal to cos inverse x cube, where x cube mod of x cube is less than 1. So now if mod of x cube is less than 1, that is only possible if mod x is less than 1. So derivative is defined whenever mod x is always less than 1. So d by dx of cos inverse x cube. So first we'll apply the formula for cos inverse, and then we'll write the differential coefficient of x cube as a multiplication. So differential of cos inverse x is minus 1 upon 1 minus x square. So first we'll apply d by dx of cos inverse x, that is 1 upon under root 1 minus x square with minus sign. Now here we have taken that in place of x it is x cube. So we'll write first x cube, and then we'll multiply by the differential coefficient of this x cube, which will be 3x square. So its differential will be minus 3x square upon under root 1 minus x raised to the power 6. So that will be the answer. Again, if we take example number 2, find the derivative of y is equal to tan inverse under root 3x. So first we'll apply the formula for tan inverse x, d by dx of, that is tan inverse x. So it is 1 upon 1 plus x square. So first we'll differentiate tan inverse x, and we'll keep under root 3x in place of x. So it is 1 upon 1 plus under root 3x whole square, and then we'll multiply by differential coefficient of under root 3x. So if we differentiate under root x, it will be 2 under root x. So it is 1 by 2 under root 3x, and then again differential coefficient of 3x is 3. So we simplify it, it is 3 upon 2 under root 3x, 1 plus 3x. So that is the answer. So if you have any doubt in any question, you can ask in between. Here we have taken example number 3. For each of the following, find the derivative of given function with respect to independent variables. So in this case, here we have independent variable as t. So here y is equal to tan inverse t4. So we have to differentiate with respect to t. So dy by dt, that is d by dt of tan inverse t4. So first we'll differentiate tan inverse, and then we'll multiply by differential coefficient of t raised to power 4. So differential of tan inverse is 1 upon 1 plus t raised to power 4 whole square, and then differential coefficient of t4, that is 4t cube. So that will be the answer. In second part, z is equal to t cot inverse 1 plus t square. So we have two function as a product, that is u into v. So we have to differentiate with respect to independent variable, that is t here. So first we will differentiate with respect to t, so it will be 1, and then we'll differentiate with respect to cot inverse 1 plus t square. So in second case, we will multiply by t, and then differential coefficient of cot inverse 1 plus t square, it is minus 1 upon 1 plus x square formula, and then differential coefficient of 1 plus t square. So it is differential coefficient of 1 plus t square. Now we simplify it, it is cot inverse 1 plus t square minus 2t square upon t4 plus 2t square plus 2. Next we take x is equal to sine inverse under root 1 minus t raised to power 4. So again we'll assume it as x, and then first we'll apply formula for sine inverse x. So differential with respect to t is d by dt of sine inverse under root 1 minus t raised to power 4. So we'll apply it as, we assume it as x, so it is 1 upon under root 1 minus x square, and then this differential coefficient of this expression, that is under root 1 minus t raised to the power 4. So differential of under root x, if we find the differential of under root x, it is 1 upon 2 under root x. So it is 1 upon 2 under root x. So we have taken power minus 1 by 2, and then multiplied by differential coefficient of t raised to power 4. So 1 minus t raised to power 4 differential coefficient is minus 4t cube. Now we can simplify it, as this power can be written in denominator form, and then it is 1 by 2, and we can cancel 2 from here, so it is minus 2t cube, and then we can simplify it. So it will be minus 2t upon under root 1 minus t raised to the power 4. So here we have another example. S is equal to t upon under root 1 minus t square plus cos inverse t. So we have to differentiate with respect to independent variable, that is t. So ds upon dt. So first we will differentiate this, that is t upon under root 1 minus t square plus differential of cos inverse t. Now here we can apply quotient formula, denominator whole square into expression of denominator, differential coefficient of t, that is 1, minus t, differential coefficient of denominator term, that is under root 1 minus t square. So it is 1 by 2 under root t into differential coefficient of 1 minus t square, that is minus 2t. Now we can take LCM and then we can simplify it. And here we can apply direct formula. So it is minus 1 upon under root 1 minus t square. Now here we can simplify it. As we can see, 2 can be cancelled. So here it is under root 1 minus t square plus t square from here, t into t upon under root 1 minus t square, and in denominator it is 1 minus t square. So we take LCM again and then we'll get this. Here we can cancel this under root and then we can simplify it. So it is t square upon 1 minus t square raised to power 3 by 2. Next we have example number 4. Differentiate z is equal to cot inverse y upon 1 minus y square. So here z is cot inverse this, and we have to differentiate with respect to independent variables. So that means we have to differentiate here with respect to y. So we have to find dz over dy. So dz over dy of cot inverse some expression. So first we'll apply formula for cot inverse, and cot inverse x formula is minus 1 upon 1 plus x square. So in place of x we can put y upon 1 minus y square whole square, and then differential coefficient of y upon 1 minus y square. So here we can simplify it and then we can find the differential with respect to y of y upon 1 minus y square. So again we'll apply quotient formula and then we can simplify it. So after simplification we can get it as minus 1 plus y square upon 1 minus y square plus y4. So now we can do some question on derivative of function parametric form. If x and y are two variables such that both are explicitly expressed in terms of third variable, say t, so that means x can be written as ft and y can be written as gt, then such function are called parametric function and the third variable is called parameter. To find the derivative of a function in parametric form, we can use this result. Dy by dt is dy by dx into dx by dt. So in that case we can evaluate dy by dx as dy by dt upon dx upon dt, provided this is not equal to 0. Dx upon dt should not be equal to 0. And then we have second order derivative. Now if a function is differentiable at a point, then its first derivative is called first order derivative, and we generally denote it as f dash. So if fx is any function, then its first derivative is generally written as f dash x. But there are so many notation for this. If we write y is equal to fx, then y dash can be treated as first derivative. Even in some case we can write it y1. In some books it is written as y1. So these are all derivative of fx with respect to x dy by dx, d by dx of fx. So these are called first derivative or derivative of first order of function f. Now if it is again a differentiable function, that means if f dash is further differentiable at some point, then its derivative is called derivative of second order or second derivative of f at that point, and it is denoted by f double y2, or in some case we can write it y2. Even we can write in this way, or it is d2y over dx square. So we can also write it as d2 over dx2 of fx. So these are called second order derivatives, and these are different notations used in different books for finding or writing the second order partial derivatives. Now, similarly, if further they are differentiable, we can find next order, third order, fourth order, and so on. Now, there are some important points to remember. Number one, if y is function of x and x is function of t, then by chain rule dy by dt can be written as dy by dx and dx by dt. But no such formula hold for second order part derivatives. Second order is d2y over dt square is d by dt of dy by dt. So we cannot apply chain rule as usual as we can do in first order partial derivative. In the first derivative of function exists at a point, the second derivative may or may not exist at that point. So please remember, it is not necessary that every time we get the successive differentiation. So it may be possible, it may not be possible. And these are different notations. So here we have successive differentiation. If y is equal to fx be a function of x, its derivative with respect to x can be denoted as dy by dx y dash y1 f dash x or del y. It is first derivative of y with respect to x. So dy by dx is also a function of x and generally can be differentiated again. And if we differentiate again, it will be d by dx of dy by dx, and it will be written as d2y over dx square. So it is called second partial derivative, second derivative of y. Similarly, if second derivative is again differentiable, then third differential coefficient of y can be written as this. Now, if we continue like this, if every time we get a differentiable function, then we can get the nth derivative of y, where n is a positive integer greater than 1. So nth derivative is denoted by dny over dxn. Now it may be noted that dny over dxn is d by dx of dn minus 1y over dxn minus 1. That means we have n minus 1 order derivative and again differentiate it, will get the nth order differential coefficient. So here y is equal to fx is there, so we can denote nth derivative at dny over dxn, or we can also write dn of fx. You can also write yn for nth derivative, yn or fnx. So these are different notation to express nth derivative of function y is equal to fx. So we put in this n is equal to 2, 3 and so on, we get different order part derivatives. So successive and parametric differentiation. So here we take this example, find y2 of the following function. Now y is given as e raised to power 3x plus 2. So differentiating with respect to x, we get y1, that is dy by dx. So dy by dx, that is first derivative, is e raised to power 3x plus 2, that is differential of e raised to power x is e raised to power x. And then we can multiply by differential coefficient of 3x plus 2, and that will be equal to 3. So 3 into this, we get this. Now we have to find y2. Now y1 is this. Now we can see that it is differentiable. So differential respect to x again, we get y2, that is d2y over dx square. So d2y over dx square is 3 into differential of e raised to power 3x plus 2, that is e raised to power 3x plus 2 into differential coefficient of 3x plus 2. So again we get 3. Now it is equal to 9 into e raised to power 3x plus 2. So y2 is equal to 9y. We can see from here that y is e raised to power 3x plus 2. So we can again substitute from 1 and it will be equal to y. So we can write in place of this as y. So we get 9y. This means y square is equal to 9y, or we can also write y2 minus 9y is equal to 0. So in case of second part, y is equal to log x plus a raised to power x. So y is equal to log x plus a raised to power x. We differentiate with respect to x. We get first derivative, that is y1, that is dy by dx. So differential of log x is 1 by x into differential of a raised to power x is a raised to power x into log a. Now it is again a differential function. We can further differentiate it. So we get y2. If we differentiate again, that is d by dx of dy by dx. And if we differentiate 1 by x, it is minus 1 by x square. Then log a is constant and differential of a raised to power x is again a raised to power x log a. So here we can conclude that it is minus 1 by x square plus a raised to power x log a square. So that is the answer. So again we have taken example number 3. X is equal to a cos theta, y is equal to sin theta. Now we have to differentiate. So differentiating with respect to theta, we get dx by d theta is minus a sin theta, dy by d theta is a cos theta. So y1, that is differential of y with respect to x. So dy by dx can be written as dy by d theta divided by dx by d theta. As we can see that x and y are in form of theta, so we have to differentiate with respect to theta and then we can put the value. So its value is minus cos theta. Again differentiating with respect to x, we'll get y2, that is d2y over dx square, but it is minus cot theta. Now differential of cot is minus cosec square, so minus is already there, so it is cosec square, or you can say minus cosec square theta. And then we have to write the differential coefficient of theta with respect to x. So it is d theta by dx, because we have to differentiate with respect to x and it is in the form of theta. Now it is cosec square theta into d theta by dx. So we can write d theta by dx as dx by d theta in the denominator. So it can be written as dx by d theta. If we write it 1. So dx by d theta is minus a sin theta. So we can put the value in the denominator minus a sin theta. And then we can simplify it. So it is minus 1 upon a cosec square theta into 1 upon sin theta is cosec theta. So again we get cosec theta in numerator, and now it is minus 1 upon a cosec cube theta. So that is the answer. Now we come to second question. If y is equal to 500 e raised to power 7x plus 600 e raised to power minus 7x, then show that y2 minus 49y is equal to 0. So y is given as this expression. Differentiating with respect to x, we get y1 is dy by dx. So differentiating with respect to x, now e raised to power 7x differential is e raised to power 7x multiplied by differential coefficient, that is 7. And similarly here we can write differential of e raised to power minus 7x is e raised to power minus 7x then multiplied by minus 7. So it is equal to 7 into 500 e raised to power 7x minus 600 e raised to power minus 7x. Now it is again a differentiable function, so we can again differentiate it. Again differentiating, we get y2 is equal to 7 into differential of e raised to power 7x is again e raised to power 7x into 7, that is differential coefficient. And similarly we have to write for second expression. Again this 7 can be taken as common, so outside this bracket we get 49. And now we can observe that this value from 1 is equal to y. So we put y is equal to 500 e raised to power 7x plus 600 e raised to power minus 7x. So we get it is 49y, and then we can write it as y2 minus 49y is equal to 0. So that is the proof. So now I think you are comfortable in doing some question on successive differentiation. So do some question on successive differentiation. So again we come to the question. I have taken the record. So next is, if y is equal to sine log x, then show that x square y2 plus x y1 plus y is equal to 0. So here y is given as sine log x. So differentiating, we get with respect to x, we get y1, that is dy by dx. So first we'll differentiate sine log x. So differential of sine is cos, so it is cos log x. Then differential coefficient of log x, and differential of log x is 1 by x. So we get x in denominator, we can cross multiply it. Now we get this expression. Now we can observe that x y1 is equal to cos log x. So again these are differentiable. So differentiating again to get this expression, that means we need at least second derivative. So now here we have to apply the product x y1. So y1 is dy by dx. So as we know that y1 is dy by dx, it is also function of x. Okay, so we'll apply product rule here. X as it is, differential of y1 is y2. Now why differential of y1 is y2? If we differentiate y1, so it is differential of dy by dx, differential of y. So we can write it is d2y over dx square, and in short we can write it y2. So differential of y1 will be equal to y2. plus y1 as it is, and differential of x is 1. So we get this expression. If we differentiate x y1, we get x y2 plus y1. Now on right hand side, again differential of cos is minus sine log x as it is, then differential coefficient of log x, and it is 1 by x. So left hand side will remain the same. Now again, x is in denominator, we can cross multiply it. So we get it is x square y2 plus xy1, and it is minus sine log x. Now sine log x is equal to y from 1. So we can put the value of sine log x from 1, and it is equal to y. So we can write it, it is equal to minus y. Now this minus y can be shifted to left hand side. So it will be x square y2 plus xy1 plus y is equal to 0. So that is the proof that how we can find this expression if y is equal to sine log x is given. Similarly, we can do this question number 4. If y is equal to cos mx plus b sine mx, then show that y2 plus m square y is equal to 0. Now, given that y is a cos mx plus b sine mx, now differentiating with respect to x, we get y1 is dy by dx, so we differentiate this. That is differential of cos is minus sine mx, then differential coefficient of mx, that is m, plus differential of sine is cos, and then differential coefficient of mx is m. So we get this. That is m into minus a sine mx plus b cos mx. Now again differentiating because we need y2 plus m square y. So we have to differentiate up to second order, and then we can find this. So again differentiating with respect to y, we get y2, that is d2y over dx square. So again differentiating, differential of sine is cos, differential of cos is minus sine. So we get minus on both the expression. So you can take minus and minus m common. So m common and minus common, it is minus m square. Then it is a cos mx plus b sine mx. Now from 1, a cos mx plus b sine mx is equal to y. So again writing it is minus m square y. So y2 is here. Here we have y2, and it is equal to minus m square y. So this implies y2 plus m square y is equal to 0. So this is the successive differentiation. Now we can do some question on successive. So let us take some questions. Here we can write, otherwise we can take new sheet. Suppose y is equal to e raised to power ax plus b. That is the question. That it is question number 1. Now, is it a differentiable function?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, whenever we have to differentiate, we will write first differential coefficient as y1. So, differentiating we get y1. So, what will be the value of y1?
A multiplied by e raised to power ax plus b.
So, you can write it differential of e raised to power ax plus b is e raised to power ax plus b into differential coefficient of ax plus b, and that will be equal to a, right? So it is better to write a before e, so it will be a into e raised to power ax plus b. Now it is looking better. Now again it is differentiable, right? So we can differentiate again differentiate. So here we have differentiated, and then again we are again differentiating. So again it is differentiable, we get y2, that is second order derivative. Again we get the same thing, a into e raised to power ax plus b into a. So we can write it as a square e raised to power ax plus b, right? Similarly, again differentiating, we get y3 will be a cube e raised to power ax plus b. So do you have any symmetry? In case of y1 we have this, in case of y2 we have this, in case of y3 we have this. So in case of y1 we have a raised to power 1 e raised to power ax plus b. In case of y2 we have a raised to power 2 e raised to power ax plus b. In case of y3 we have a cube e raised to power ax plus b. So we can retain the symmetry, and then we can write y8. What will be the value of y8?
A raised to power 8 y
A raised to power 8.
y.
E raised to power ax plus b. So in that way, if we continue like this, we can write y, and that is nth derivative. So we can catch the symmetry by y1, y2, y3, and then if we have enough symmetry, if we can directly write yn, then we can write nth derivative, and it can be written as a raised to power n into e raised to power ax plus b. Okay. So is there any doubt?
No, sir.
So we have to catch the symmetry. We have to maintain the symmetry. We cannot destroy the symmetry. We have to find successive differentiations. Then we have to catch the symmetry, and then we have to maintain the symmetry. And then if we have enough symmetry for y1, y2, y3, y4, and so on, then we can directly write nth derivative. Now we can conclude further. If b is equal to 0, then nth derivative that can be represented by dn of e raised to power ax plus b. Now b is equal to 0, then it is dn of e raised to power ax, or you can say yn of e raised to power ax. It can be written as yn, and that will be a raised to power n e raised to power ax, right? So let us do some questions on successive differentiation. I will give you one or two questions. So is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we can take some simple question, very simple question, and you have to maintain the symmetry. I will do just one or two questions. Okay, so let us take question number 2. Y is equal to ax plus b raised to the power minus 1. Okay, very simple question. Find yn. Now, what do you mean by yn? That is nth derivative of this function. Now, this function is differentiable. We have to maintain the symmetry, and then we have to find the nth derivative. Okay. So, differentiating we get y1. Now y1 is, what should be the value of y1? Any student?
Minus ax minus b raised to the power minus 2.
Well, d by dx of x raised to the power n is n x raised to power n minus 1. So from here we can say in place of n it is minus 1. So n, that is minus 1 ax plus b raised to the power minus 1 minus 1. That is the formula. Okay. And then differential coefficient of
multiplied by a.
ax plus b. Is there any doubt? We have applied this formula where n is minus 1. So we can also write directly that it is minus 1 into a into ax plus b raised to the power minus 2. Is there any doubt?
No.
Okay, so it is very simple. Now again differentiating, because it is differentiable function, again differentiating we get so we can get y2. Now minus 1 is already there. Now and this a is constant, so we have to differentiate this. Again we'll apply the same formula, minus 2 into a into ax plus b raised to the power minus 2 minus 1. So again we can write it minus 1 into minus 2 a square, then ax plus b raised to the power minus 3. So now on the right hand side we can maintain the symmetry, so that when we will have enough symmetry we can directly write yn, because our objective is to find yn, right? Again it is differential function, so we can write y3. So differentiating again we get y3 is, now minus 1 minus 2 is already there, then a square is already there, and then we'll apply the formula. It is minus 3 into a into ax plus b raised to the power minus 3 minus 1. So if we maintain again the symmetry, it is minus 1 minus 2 minus 3, then a cube into ax plus b raised to the power minus 4. So I think we have enough symmetry to write and a derivative. Even if you don't think so, you can write y4 also. Now,
So the general form is n factorial multiplied by a raised to power n multiplied by minus 1 times n whole divided by a x plus b raised to power n plus 1.
in division, in denominator, right?
Yes, sir.
So we can again write y4, that is minus 1 minus 2 minus 3 minus 4. We can directly write it. Then a raised to the power 4 ax plus b raised to the power minus 5. Now, in that way we can continue like this, and then we can write directly yn, that is nth derivative. So you can see that these numbers, in y1 we have minus 1, in y2 we have up to minus 2, in y3 we have up to minus 3, in y4 we have up to minus 4. So in yn we'll have up to minus n. So we can write yn that minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, and so on up to minus n. Okay. Now, if we check the power of constant, in y1 we have a raised to power 1, in y2 we have a raised to power 2, y3 we have a raised to power 3, y4 we have a raised to power 4. So in yn we'll have a raised to the power n. Now we check the power of this ax plus b expression. Y1 then minus 2, y2 minus 3, that is 1 greater than this number, y3 that is minus 4, y4 that is minus 5. So we can write this minus 5 as minus 4 minus 1. Okay. So we can write it as ax plus b raised to the power minus, we can take common. It is always greater than this number by 1. So it is n plus 1. Okay, it is n plus 1. So now we can write it in compact form also. Now what is compact form? We can take minus common. So we take minus common, we have minus n times, so it is minus 1 raised to the power n. Then 1, 2, 3, 4 up to n. So we can write 1, then 2, 3, 4, and so on up to n. So these are the product from 1 to n, a raised to power n. And if we write it in denominator, it is ax plus b raised to the power n plus 1. Now power is positive. So we can write it as minus 1 raised to the power n. This can be written as n factorial, and then a raised to power n upon ax plus b raised to the power n plus 1. So in that way we can write yn, that is nth derivative of this expression, ax plus b raised to the power minus 1, then its formula is minus 1 raised to the power n factorial n a raised to the power n upon ax plus b raised to the power n plus 1. So that is called nth derivative. We can remember this formula. So you can do it. Now we can find some special cases. If we put some values of a in particular, we can put value b is equal to 0 and so on. We take some more question. Suppose we take question number 3. I think it is question number 3. If y is equal to ax plus b raised to the power m, then find yn. Now we have to find yn in terms of compact form, that is we have to write on this form. Now there are m is there, n is there, here we have only minus 1, so we can write everything in terms of n only. Now how you can do it? So please try it till I take the attendance. So attendance please. Number 1 Nandini, then Vanshveer,
Yes, sir, present.
Samaksh Mittal, Nikhil Singh, Tushar Jain, Tushar, are you there? Himansh Bhatia, Sajan Shankar,
Present, sir.
okay, Nikita Sharma,
Present, sir.
okay,
Present, sir.
Nibir, Nibir,
Present, sir. Nibir.
okay, Ispraha Kumawat, Ispraha, Ayush Sharma, Hiren Sahani, Pranav Marwaha, Faraj Hassan, Divyanshi,
Present, sir.
okay, Vidhi Chadda,
Present, sir.
okay, Hardik Anand, Hardik Anand, Lashika Bhagat, Lakshika Bhagat, okay, Ojas Singh, Rakshit Malik, Vedant Asija,
Present, sir.
okay, Prabal Kalhans, Lakshay Arora,
Present, sir.
okay, Tanupriya Pathak, Ojasvi, Miss Rama, Rama, are you there? Sameer Chaudhary, Yash Kapoor, Kuchagra Jain,
Sir, Yash Kapoor present.
okay, Yash, Kushagra Jain, Kushagra, are you there? Then Sudhanshu,
Present, sir.
okay, Sarthak Gupta, R. Shreyas, Sarthak Gupta, R. Shreyas, then Pranav Verma,
Present, sir. Pranav Verma.
okay, Lakshajit Thapa,
Present, sir.
okay, Achal Shankar, Achal Shankar Gupta, then Aman Goyal, Mohit Rohila,
Present, sir.
okay, then Vanshika Jain, Gauri Dhingra,
Yes, sir. Present.
okay, Sudiksha Sharma, Aditya Kumar, Prajwal Goswami,
Sir, Prajwal Goswami present, sir.
okay, Shantanu Chaudhary, Shantanu Raj Chaudhary,
Present.
okay,
Present, sir.
Naman
Present.
Kataria, Naman Kataria,
Present, sir.
okay,
Present, sir.
Pragati Mehra, Aryaman Anand,
Present, sir.
okay, Parth Bansal, okay, Bhavya
Present,
Singh,
sir. Parth Bansal.
okay, Parth, Bhavya Singh, Apar Bhatnagar, Atiq Ahmed, Ansh Srivastav, Naima Sultan, Sara Javed, after that, Akshita Kaushik,
Present, sir. Present, sir.
okay, Ujwal Chaudhary, then Dhruv Aswal,
Present, sir.
okay, Vaibhav Madan.
Present, sir.
Okay. Chandan Kumar Saha.
Present, sir.
Okay. Jitesh Pratap Singh.
Sir, present.
Okay. Now anybody else whose attendance is not marked
Can you
or
check
have
for
some doubt?
Vanshveer once?
Pardon?
So can you check for Vanshveer once?
Vanshveer Singh.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you are marked present. No problem. Any other student have any doubt or any problem?
And sir, Naman Kataria also.
Naman Kataria. Just a minute.
Zero 333.
Yeah, okay, Naman. You are present.
Thank you,
So,
sir.
okay. Thank you very much.
Sir,
And
answer.
in next
Thank you,
lecture,
sir.
we discuss integration, integral calculus. Okay.
Sir, the answer.
Pardon? Answer. Okay. Just a minute.
I have calculated it's a raised to power n ax plus b raised to power m minus n multiplied by m factorial minus m minus n factorial.
Yeah, you can further simplify it. It is, you can write please factorial m into a raised to power n into ax plus b raised to the power m minus n divided by factorial m minus n. So you can further
So divided
write
by
factorial m minus n. If you have
सर
some doubt, I can write the answer.
सर मैंने कैलकुलेट किया था उसमें माइनस m फैक्टोरियल माइनस n आया था.
It will be
So I can
yn will
show
be
you.
factorial m. You can write factorial also this in this way. Factorial m minus n, then a raised to power n, ax plus b raised to the power m minus n. So I think you have done up to factorial m minus n plus 1, right?
सर
You have
मैंने
calculated up to this.
सर मैंने जो किया उसमें m फैक्टोरियल जो आपने लिखा है माइनस फिर जो डिनोमिनेटर है वो माइनस हो जाए उससे और बाकी पूरा सब न्यूमरेटर नहीं है.
Yeah, you can do one thing. You can multiply the numerator and denominator by factorial m minus n.
नहीं सर वो पूरे में मल्टीप्लाई हो जाएगा. मैं मल्टीप्लाई नहीं किया.
Yes, yes, you can multiply it in numerator as well as in denominator. Just a minute. Okay, it is not properly visible. No problem. You can do one thing. You differentiate it, then you can what is yn? You can write yn. So yn I think will be m minus 1, m minus 2, am I right? And so on up to m minus n minus 1. Then it is a raised to power n, and then it will be ax plus b raised to the power m minus n. That
सर
will
जो
be
आपने
yn.
पहला टर्म जो लिखा है m माइनस वन टू m माइनस n माइनस वन तक सर इसी के लिए मैंने ये लिखा था कि m फैक्टोरियल माइनस m माइनस n फैक्टोरियल.
No, 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 you cannot write minus. Now you have to multiply numerator and denominator by factorial m minus n.
Okay.
That cannot be
Yes, sir.
subtracted.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Values are different. Okay. Now this expression and this expression will combinedly equal to factorial m. And this denominator will be factorial m minus n. And rest will remain the same. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So in that way, we can write nth derivative in compact form. Okay. So now, thank you very much. You can leave. We'll meet tomorrow at the same time.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you.